Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Frostbite coming at you. I want to talk a little bit about the coin you see right here. And I love this particular coin. This is one of the reasons that I got into the hobby. In talking with various collectors, the hobbyists, and you kind of ask them, why did you get started within the hobby? One of the common reasons that you'll hear is that they got into the hobby because they wanted to collect coins that were 100, 150, or 200 years old when they were born. And this is no exception. The 1873 trade dollar, which is kind of like an icon of the 100-year coins when I was born, was something that I had looked to achieve or attain for many, many years. And therein lies like the first part of where my mistake went, or my mistake began. And that is the desire to achieve something without really paying attention to what I was doing. And, a lot of people are embarrassed making mistakes like this. I'm not. Mistakes happen. I work in a field where constantly identifying mistakes and shortfalls, and what happens from a mistake is what can you learn from it. If you learn that there are things you need to do and you can stop and reflect and gain something from something that was identified or a mistake that was made, then you're better for it. So I wanted to share this information to kind of talk about some of the things that I did that led me to buying this counterfeit coin, and kind of go over a few items. One, to help you identify how to detect a counterfeit trade dollar, and two, just a couple steps to avoid it. So the first thing you're going to want to do when trying to identify this is, if you're buying this online, right, and you look at the descriptor, I'm going to open this up and show you, zoom out just a little bit, and show you my weight here. By the way, go Navy. When you look at the coins online, if you only see two images, the obverse and the reverse, and they're not in very good shape, doesn't mean that the coin's necessarily going to be counterfeit, okay? But you may want to ask for additional images. And one of the images that I would recommend you reach out to the seller for, especially if you're doing this via like eBay or Amazon or something of that nature, is to have them put it on a scale. So have them take a picture with the coin being weighed. And again, this is the first thing that was a detection for me. And that is, as you can see on the screen, this is 22 grams. Now, the trade dollar for 1873 and all trade dollars within this particular realm weigh 27.2. And you can see this is not just minorly out of tolerance. The tolerance for US coin is 0.097 or 0.0097. And so this was way, way, way out of the tolerance. I mean, it's not even close. So that is an absolute detection of what would make this coin fake. So what we would do with the sellers when you were looking to do this is say, take a picture of the coin on the scale, right? I want to see the picture of the coin on the scale. And if they did something, and I'll show you this real quick. So you're looking at a penny, that's 2.4. That's 4.9. So now if I were to do this, you could see that's really, really close, right? And so a couple of things. Number one, you can see that on the sides here, you can see that the coin has been raised up a little bit, and that might be indication that they're trying to fool with you. However, the reason that I recommend you do this is that if somebody does this, they are knowingly deceiving you towards purchasing of a counterfeit coin, and that's a federal crime. So if that happens, then you have some sort of legal recourse because you know that they are working to deceive you. Those are a couple things that you want to have done. The other thing that you want to do is just ask them, do you know if this coin's fake or authentic? And if they happen to say, well, I believe it's real, then say, if we do this and we, if I, have this sent in, or I have my coin guy look at it and it comes back to be fake, would you be willing to give me a money back guarantee on it? And converse with the buyer before you purchase it. And that does a couple things. Number one, it gives you a good documentation that says that the seller said that they were or were not willing to do this. If a seller says, no, all sales are final, I'm not going to do it, then just pass on the coin. It's not worth it. It doesn't mean that, there's necessarily anything that's going to be wrong with the particular coin, but if a seller is not willing to work with you, that's usually a red flag. You can also look in the upper left-hand corner, and I'm sorry that I don't have this set up with my computer right now. I'm just doing this on my phone. Is to look at the number of sales that they've done. If their feedback is 0 and they've only been online for a month, that is a true testament, right? Now, in my case, and I'm not going to share the user's name because in talking with this particular seller, I have a valid belief that they didn't know that this coin was not authentic. There has been certain reactions, certain things stated where they really truly believe that there was some authentic, this coin was an authentic component. And so I don't want to belabor the fact that this person tried to pull one over on me. But again, I just want to make sure that, people are understanding that I have been working with this seller. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to kind of go over, a number of items on how you can identify the fake. And these are all assuming that you actually have the coin in hand. So the one thing you're going to want to do, and I'm going to move this out of the way, is if you have a magnet, okay? And if you have a magnet and you put to it, you can see that this does not, there's a magnet inside here. It doesn't stick to it. So the magnet test is fine. Okay, so the magnet doesn't stick. It just doesn't mean that it's not a counterfeit and that it's fine. A lot of times you can have a copper, which is non-magnetic, over, it's been dipped in silver. And so the coin will have a silver appearance, but it's still not magnetic. You can check the date on the coin. In this case, the 1873 is within the range. But if this coin happened to be a 1790 or 1786, then you definitely know that it's outside of the range, right? And so you want to look at that date and make sure that it definitely is inside that realm. The other thing that you want to do is and I just showed you, right? You're going to want to weigh it. You want to know what the weight is. And this is why I said, recommend you doing that. So you put that on the scale and you can see that's 22. Well, it should be 27.2. And with that minor tolerance of, I think it's like 0.96 ounce or something like that, then, so it could be like, 27.13 or something like that, and it'd still be within tolerances. You want to look at the images on the coin, right? So you want to see if there's something in here that is different. So for instance, if they're holding something than the little olive branch or something of that nature, you want to look and see if there's elements of the coin, like there's no e pluribus unum or no in God we trust on the particular coin. So you want to make sure there's no liberty or it says like e pluribus unum where the liberty is. So you want to look at some of those things. They may give you tips on whether or not it's real or fake. Another thing that you want to do is you want to look at the amount of detail. Is it a soft punch? Can you see certain details in the coin, the clasp on the shoulder? Now, if it's worn down, you may not be able to see those particular details, but I'm talking about ones that have enough to where you have good detail. Is that information there? And if not, if it's a really soft, you can't see details, it almost looks like a strike through error, like something was struck through grease, then it's definitely going to be something you want to look at. The other thing that you're going to want to look at is you're going to want to look at the identicals and readings. So if they're mushed together, then you're going to want, and that's the little things down here. I can't really get a good picture of that, so let's see if I can do that now. You're going to want to look at those. If those are separated nicely, they're uniform, then that's a good sign. If they're all smashed together, or they're overly sharp, or they're irregular sized, then that's another thing that you may want to look at. The other thing is the texture. When you pick this up, no, I'm not going to rub the coin, even though it's fake. I'm not going to rub the coin. You're going to want to feel the texture, and you may, if it's really, really rough or it doesn't feel very sharp, then that might be something. The other one is, this is where I made the mistake, right? I was so adamant about getting this coin. that I didn't really focus and pay attention on the price, and that really bit me. This coin should have cost me way more than what I bought it for, and my desire to get the coin really kind of just bit me. One of the other ones is, if you can hold the coin, is to flip it. This is called a coin flip. And if you hold the coin to where the obverse is facing you, and you flip it over laterally, which would be from this side to this side, right, this way, then if I flip it, then the reverse side should be upright with the eagle facing to the right. Right now, this is upside down facing to the left. And so because it's upside down, this is not an authentic coin. Because if I turn this over, this eagle should be upright with the beak pointing that way. And that's one. Now, I wasn't able to see this when you take pictures because the pictures that you see don't actually show you the flip. But this is something that you can do if you're able to have the coin in hands. And then last but not least, so you want to look at the information on the back. Again, you can see that if I flip it that way, which is how more modern coins are flipped, then it stays upright. But again, that's not right. Is to look at the lettering and to see if there's, do you have the E pluribus unum? Are the letterings here? Are the fonts different? If the fonts are different from here to here or within here, then you know that there's some serious issues, right? So again, a lot of these things are very easy to miss. I'm really bummed about this particular coin because I was really looking forward to this. I've collected a number of coins from my typeset album, but I hadn't put it together because I was wanting to gather a trade dollar, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to start my my typeset album until this is the first coin that goes in there, because this is a coin, and not the 1873, just a general trade dollar, because this is the one that I wanted to start the album with, mainly because they didn't do these within the U.S. These are traded mainly with China and the Asian countries. And when I was in the military, that was one thing that I was always found fascinating, was Asian culture. And so to be able to start something, knowing some of the history, I have found that this would be something that I really wanted to do. In fact, I wanted to do a video series starting with this coin, building out each one of the coins, and then talking about, doing like all the cents or the large cents or things like that. But anyway, the mistake was made, right? And it happens. It's not a big deal, but we got to learn from it. So working with the seller to get this back, to get a refund, and then I'll be looking for another trade dollar. So I wanted to share with you all. I hope you've gained something from this. My mistake, hopefully, is your gain, and you can get information from this. But understand, we make mistakes in life, and it's not the mistake that's the problem. It's if you continue to make the mistake or you learn nothing from it. So hopefully you can take some good from the information that I've provided you today. I wish you the very best. Be smart about it. Take your time. Don't make rash decisions. Don't make snap to impromptu buys. Look at it. Ask questions. There are a number of sites and YouTubers that are on here. You have Bluehound or Blue Ridge Silver Coins. You have Just Stack It. You have SilverStacker. You have the LiveCoin Q&A folks that have a wonderful panel. You have JBCoins. These are all people that I've worked with in asking questions. I'm not affiliated or associated with any of them. I don't get anything from any of their channels. I haven't done really any collaborations with them. And so I just want to share this information because they provide a lot of great information. So I'll be putting their information in the description below, along with some other pertinent information. So I wish you all the very best. Take care. God bless. And until we see you again.